By now, you've heard Donald Trump wants to annex Canada, Greenland, and the Panama Canal and rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. This is his new manifest destiny.
Trump was asked if he'd rule out using military force to get control of Greenland and the Panama Canal, and Trump would not rule that out. How would acquiring that land help everyday Americans better afford their day-to-day expenses?
President Trump is bringing us into a golden age of America. This is the new manifest destiny, reacquiring the Panama Canal, acquiring Greenland, renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. This is the light of America expanding.
Taking over a bunch of places. Isn't that what Hitler did?
I'm a war fighter. I don't want to send our sons and daughters to fight in war. We can literally just control the global markets by taking over areas, not taking over, but by investing in areas that, quite frankly, benefit all of us collectively.
And that guy just said it outright. He wants to take over countries. These people are nuts.
I get it. You say that Americans don't have a problem with Canadians, and we don't. But it seems like you have a problem with us, because if I were a citizen of another country and I was a neighbor of the United States, I would consider it a privilege to be taken over by the United States of America. That's what everybody else in the world wants, American citizenship. For some reason, that's repellent to you Canadians. And I find that personally offensive, Premier.
And that's Jesse Waters pretending to actually be upset that Canada does not want to be taken over by America. Really, Jesse? What a bozo.
Why is Donald Trump doing this? And I think the answer is, let's have a big distraction and several more questions so we don't spend more time on Pete Hegseth, the nominee to be the head of the Department of Defense. So we don't spend more time on Tulsi Gabbard, who has been in the pocket of Putin and is not someone who should be trusted with our secrets, so that we don't spend more time on Robert Kennedy's views on vaccines. In other words, we have a job in front of us right now, and that is advise and consent on the nominees who are there to run our government.
Ding, 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 ding. Elizabeth Warren for the win. She nailed it right now. These are distractions. These are ways to get us talking about silly stuff like America annexing Canada. It's not going to happen. Canadians don't want us. Do you understand? When you travel around the world, when Americans travel around the world, the rest of the world, I've seen this with my own eyes, Americans say they're Canadians so that they don't get the vitriol of some of the other countries like in Europe and the sort. Because people in Europe, for the most part, know that Americans, well, we have a lot of good people. But there's also some bozos, like Jesse Waters and these other congressmen members that you just saw. There's some bozos out there. And they're trying to get us believing that this is an actual thing. We're not going to annex Canada. We're not going to annex Greenland. We can't just rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. I mean, you could, but people aren't going to call it that. I mean, it's like me saying, like, hey, I'm a hair model. I could say it, but it's not real. So here we are, running around, being diverted once again by Donald Trump. And that's what he does. He is a circus master. He is P.T. Barnum. He is the guy who knows how to rile up his base, and he knows how to rile up the opposition. Because people are going, no, are you crazy? It's not real. And what we need to be working on is, as Elizabeth Warren just said, is looking at this Pete Hegseth, who's going to be the possible Secretary of Defense, looking at Tulsi Gabbard, looking at Kash Patel, looking at Robert Kennedy Jr. These are real people that are going to have real effects on the way our lives move forward in the coming 4 years. But it's going to be chaotic. It's constantly chaotic. A lot of people, I think, forgot how chaotic Donald Trump is just as a human being. Remember he was having the daily press conferences during COVID, and at a certain point we were just losing our minds. We're like, oh my God, this guy keeps coming, and he keeps rambling, and he keeps not allowing the experts to talk or overstepping the experts, saying to that one doctor, that the bleach conversation, when he said maybe we should put some bleach into your system to get rid of COVID. Remember he originally with COVID, once again, he said, once spring comes, it's just going to go. He just says cuckoo stuff because he's not an intelligent human being. He's actually a very ignorant person. He's really ignorant. And so he just says things that he thinks are smart because, more of his ignorance, he says that his uncle taught at MIT. Remember that one? I hope you guys look up all these clips. It's unbelievable. If someone just did a highlight reel of Donald Trump and all the crazy stuff he says, it would take hours. So he just says crazy stuff, and then we need to not get distracted by it. Here I am spending a whole video telling you that about this thing about annexing Greenland and Panama Canal and Canada and all that stuff. Wasting your time and my time by telling you something that's not going to happen. It's just not going to. How would it even happen? Would we invade Greenland? Would we invade Canada? Are we going to invade? Or do we just call them up and go, yo, you're ours now? And they go, sure, no problem. Jesse Waters was saying the rest of the world wants to be annexed by America. I don't think so. I don't think he's traveled outside of America to see what the rest of the world thinks of us. We are the laughingstock of the rest of the world because of the president that we have. Bozo has definitely inspired other bozos, and you see people like Jesse Waters, those are the Congress people, and those are the people who give us a bad name in the rest of the world. So Canada, I don't think you have anything to worry about. Greenland, you don't have anything to worry about. Panama Canal, I can't imagine you have anything to worry about. The only one that might happen is the Gulf of America. And simply because, he could actually call Google and say, hey, Google, why don't you, on your Google Maps, change it to Gulf of America? And then we would all see it and we'd say, oh, why does it say Gulf of America? That's the Gulf of Mexico. And Mexicans would certainly not call it Gulf of America. I wouldn't call it Gulf of America. It's Gulf of Mexico. You can't just rename it. You know what he's going to do, guys? He's going to rename it the Gulf of Trump. He's going to make it like a Trump Tower. He's going to brand. Oh, we are in such dire situations right now. This guy's just going to try and brand everything. Oh, no. Why not just rename Mexico? Just call it New Trump. I don't know. It's a crazy time, folks. So let's focus on real things. Let's focus on holding these people responsible. And hopefully, can you imagine an FBI with Kash Patel? Oh, God, it's going to get crazier and crazier. I don't know what to tell you. All I want you to do is remember this video when a month or two in, some crazy stuff's happening, and Trump and his administration are mismanaging it because he's not bringing anybody with experience in this time. And then just watch what crazy stuff he says and say, oh yeah, Maz told us he's going to do this. He's going to do it. Listen to me, listen to Elizabeth Warren, and hold on tight, folks. It's going to be a crazy 4 years. I'm comedian Maz Jobrani. I've got a special on YouTube. It's called The Birds and the Bees. If you get a second, check it out. If you like it, leave a comment, tell your friends. If you don't like it, keep it to yourselves. Bye.